This is Newcap News with Jacob Zaire.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Jack, it's like riding a bike, I guess. Those old NHL stars still got it.
They do. They really do. They were out last night at the Civic Center and proving that they still got what it takes, and we have that story coming up in sports.
All right, we definitely look forward to that. Gerard, I guess we're still looking forward, if you will, to the bulk of the storm that's supposed to be hitting us.
Yeah, it looks like quite a bit of it fell in the Edmonton area. I've been monitoring the tweets, particularly around Edmonton International Airport and road conditions there, folks catching flights, that kind of stuff. But we can say, to be on the safe side, it hasn't reached us yet. So let's see what we've been dealing with, all right? On and off kind of thing. We got to minus 11 at noon, and that's where we're still sitting at, actually, part and thanks to the cloud cover. The humidity been in the 80s, flirting with the late 70s, 80s kind of thing. Winds out of the northeast for the better part of it, and sometimes east-northeast, but gusting, and the wind chill not doing us any favors. Expected to dive to about minus 27 later on. So looking at across the region, it's a similar story for Cold Lake and area, also getting to minus 11 just after 1 o'clock, and the Battlefords as well. A similar story there too, getting to minus 9 at noon today. In terms of what's coming later on, we are still under a winter storm warning, including ourselves and Edmonton, but we'll talk about it in the second segment.
Well, as we were saying, snow has been intermittently falling since about 3 a.m. this morning, and the city of Lloydminster, Vermilion and Provost do remain under a winter storm warning. If you're planning to head out on the roads tonight, you might want to think again. With winds gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour, visibilities will be reduced to less than 2 kilometers, with wind chills approaching minus 30. Road conditions do remain icy, with lots of blowing snow, making it difficult to see the road at times. Another 5 centimeters of snow is expected before the end of the night, so you'll want to check local road reports before heading out tomorrow morning. That's one of the least talked about problems, yet even just here in the border city, it affects thousands. Family violence happens behind closed doors daily, and as Lauren Pullen tells us, Alberta is the country's top culprit.
It's a statistic the province isn't proud of.
Alberta currently has the highest rate of domestic violence in Canada. The province of Alberta has led the way for several years now.
This is home to upwards of 450 abused women and their families annually. But that's only a small portion of those in the border city affected by family violence.
It's in the thousands when we calculate everyone together that we're impacting or reaching as far as family violence is concerned.
The City of Lloydminster is looking to highlight the problem by proclaiming November Family Violence Prevention Month.
It's one of those things that people don't talk about much. It's one of those things that happens behind closed doors, and sometimes there isn't a voice. So if I can help to be a voice, if the city can help to be a voice, then by all means we're going to do it.
McCaw says highlighting the problem is key, but so is prevention.
When you grow up in abusive situations, you believe that that's the norm, and it isn't. And so yeah, our awareness work is very targeted at children and young people.
The Interval Home offers a 21-bed emergency shelter that is currently completely full. It also gives families access to multiple programs and services to get back on their feet again. McCaw says they're here to help any way they can.
We're open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. You'll always, if you call our crisis line, you'll always speak to someone.
Lauren Pullen, Newcap News.
What would happen if you were faced with a serious illness? As Emmett Murphy reports, a new study shows Saskatchewan residents are among the most prepared in the country if faced with poor health.
According to the Sunlife Canadian Health Index, about 4 in 10 Saskatchewan residents believe they are financially prepared in the case of a serious illness.
I have a good financial plan in order, yep. I'm fine.
Despite the failing figure, 40% confidence is the highest number out of any Canadian province. Those who aren't prepared in the area don't appear too concerned.
I guess the goal is just to stay fit and healthy so you don't have to face that problem.
Sunlife financial advisor Greg Schierbeck says that while everyone should have a unique financial plan, everyone should make sure they are covered in case of a medical emergency.
The problem people are facing is not if they get better, it's when they get better. And it's just the financial burden that it is in that time period. And it's better to protect yourself and everyone else.
Schierbeck is happily surprised at Saskatchewan's confidence in their finances. He attributes their sound mind to the fact many come from farming communities.
These people set aside time and look into estate planning for the farm in the future.
Only 30% of people in the province feel prepared to pay for some of the health costs they'll face in retirement.
No, my plan is to win the lottery this Friday and 67 million, so then I'll be okay.
You know, if I haven't saved for my retirement, then that's onus is on me, but I would assume that my medical needs would be taken care of.
We're pretty well covered with Alberta Health Care, Blue Cross in your senior years. I think we're fine.
Schierbeck says that people shouldn't plan for the government to foot all or the majority of its health costs.
The government does have some input into it, but my experience is that why rely on someone else? It's not, why not make sure you're covered yourself?
Emmett Murphy, Newcap News.